Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hi, grade 9. How are you today? Today, inshallah, we will talk about Mendel's first law. But before this, we wanted to introduce to this law. So we will talk about the assumptions and some concepts like pure individuals and hybrid individuals. So we wanted to understand many things to finally understand the Mendel's first law. In any living organism, every trait, every hereditary trait in your body or any living organism is controlled by two factors, by two hereditary factors, or by two genes. So any trait, any characteristic, any hereditary trait in any living organism is controlled by two hereditary factors or two genes. One comes from the father and the other one comes from the mother. For example, here, the dominant trait of the seed color of pea plant is yellow. We know this from the Mendel experiment on the pea plant color of the seeds. So symbol of it will be Y capital. And the recessive trait of seed color of pea plant is green. So the symbol of it will be Y small. You remember that dominant and the recessive. Dominant means that trait that appears in all individuals of the first generation, and the recessive trait is the trait that disappears completely in the first generation. So here we have Y capital and Y small. This is for the dominant trait and this one for the recessive trait. Okay? The trait in the pea plant is controlled by two factors, by two genes in any organism, one from father and the other from mother. So we have three probabilities here. Number one, if we have Y capital, this trait or this gene come from father and this gene come from mother. So finally they give us Y capital, this is yellow and this is yellow. So these factors or these two genes, or this for example is a pollen grain come from father is yellow, and an ovum come from mother also is yellow. They cross together and form finally what? Yellow or Y capital. So here we have similar factors. They are similar, or we can call them homozygous, or the trait here is pure. What is the meaning of pure? They are similar. There is no difference between them. So finally, what will happen? This is called what? Yellow color or pure individual. This individual is pure, has pure trait here, pure color, yellow. Here, Y small, also they are similar factors. There is no difference between them. So we can say they are homozygous, or the trait here also is pure. And this trait is green color. So the trait in the individual will be pure individual. The third probability, Y capital, Y small, they are different factors. This comes from pollen grain from father, dominant trait, yellow color. And this comes, for example, from ovum of the mother, green, recessive trait. So finally, they form Y capital, Y small. They are different factors or heterozygous, or the trait here is not pure, is impure. So we called the individual here, we can't say it's pure individual like the last ones. No, it is called hybrid individual. So we have here two definitions. Pure individual is the individual that carries a similar pair of genes, either dominant or recessive, like this recessive and recessive. recessive gene, this comes from father, this comes from mother, so finally form the offspring y small, so here recessive or pure individual. And here we have y capital from father, from mother, so finally they are similar, so the individual here is pure. What is the meaning of pure individual? The individual that carries a similar pair of genes, either dominant or recessive. But the hybrid, it is what? Individual that carries a different or contrasting or opposite pair of genes. One is dominant and the other one is recessive. Okay, to understand this more, we will use symbols to represent the results of the experiment. But we wanted to remember that Y capital is the genetic structure of pure dominant individual. Y small, also pure individual but recessive, not dominant. This is the genetic structure. What is the meaning of genetic structure? Gene from them comes from the father, pollen grain, and the other gene comes from the mother, an ovum. And here we have Y capital, Y small, the genetic structure of hybrid individual. Okay, when a pea plant that has yellow seed color pure, is crossed, is mated with a pea plant that has green seed color Y small. This was the experiment of Mendel on the seed colors of the pea plant. So here the parents here, we have, for example, we will say that this is the father and this is the mother, for example, and we can opposite them, no problem. So we have here the parents. We have here father and mother. The trait is controlled by two factors. Any trait in any living organism is controlled by two factors in your body, in the plant, in the animal. So here we talk about the seed color. Seed color trait in the pea plant is controlled by two factors or two genes. In father here is controlled by two factors. One of them is Y capital and the other one is Y capital. So the father is pure. There is no hybrid. There is no different genes here. And also the mother has recessive trait or pure green seeds. There is no difference here between genes. So the mother is pure green seeds, has the trait pure, and the father pure trait. And the genes are the same. The genes are what? The same. What are the genes here? The genes that control the trait, the color seed in the pea plant. Now, when they cross or mated together, what happened? The gametes separated from each other. So here we want gamete. So we will take one of them. Why? Because they are similar. So we will take one of them only here in the gametes. So one, they are separated, and we take one of them. They are separated, Y small, separated from each other, and we take one of them. Then here gametes, Y capital from father, Y small from mother. They form finally the first generation of offspring. It will be Y capital, Y small, 100% yellow hybrid seeds. Why it is hybrid? Because we have here what? Two genes different from each other. One of them is Y capital, come from the pollen grain from father, and the other one, Y small, come from the gene of the mother of the ovum. And it is yellow. Why it is yellow? Because yellow is the dominant trait in the seed color of pea plant. You remember this? Yellow color is the dominant. So if there is yellow and green, no, the yellow will appear to us. We will see the plant, all the plants will be yellow. Why? Because yellow is the dominant trait in the seed color of the pea plant. Number 2 now. Mendel let the first generation to self-pollinate. So now the first generation will cross to each other. So the parents here, they are hybrid, not pure like this. the parents here were pure, but here they are hybrid. So we have here Y capital, Y small in the first generation individuals. Each individual or each pea plant produced here, that trait of color is controlled by two genes, one from father, one from mother. But here is hybrid. So this is yellow hybrid seeds and this is yellow hybrid seeds. Here now again from father and here now again from mother. So they are here different. We can't take one of them here like this because here they are similar, so we take one gamete to make the cross or the mating. But here they are different, so we will take each one, they separated from each other, So here, Y capital, Y small, Y capital, Y small. These are the gametes here, so we have 4 gametes. What will happen here? Y capital, for example, will be with Y capital. So this will be Y capital, Y capital. Or Y capital with Y small, so this will be Y capital, Y small. Or Y small, Y capital, so this will be Y capital, Y small. And you can write Y small, Y capital, no problem. And the last one we have here, Y small and Y small. This will be Y small, Y small. So here we have, this is what? Pure yellow. And here, hybrid yellow. And here, hybrid yellow. Y here pure, Y capital is yellow, Y capital is yellow, and they are dominant, so it will be pure yellow. Here we have dominant color is yellow, and recessive color is green, so the color that appears to us will be yellow. So this will be hybrid yellow. Why hybrid? Because the genes are different from each other. And the same here, the genes are different from each other, so this will be hybrid yellow. The last one will be pure green. So the experiment of Mendel in the second generation, the ratio of it will be 3 yellow to 1 green. So green is recessive because it disappears completely in the first generation and started to appear in the second generation. In the next video, we will take the first law of Mendel experiment and some notes about the lesson. Thank you.